Hey, how's it going, guys? And welcome back to another Stock Kings YouTube video. And today we'll be going over Nano Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM. Now, as we all know, Nano Dimension has just released their Q4 2020 full year financial results. And with that earnings call, their CEO, Johan Stern, had some very interesting things to say about a possible acquisition for NNDM. Now, this could be huge potential news, as we know if there is a possible acquisition for NNDM, this could send the stock skyrocketing. So, if you have any interest in NNDM, this is definitely something you are going to want to see. But we'll get into that a little later in the video, and we'll also be going over some price targets that I can see this stock hitting, as well as my technical analysis. But before we get into any of that, if you guys enjoy this content, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you know whenever we come out with a new video. I really appreciate all the support on this channel. Thank you guys so much for that. And I also have my Instagram linked down below if you're interested in following that as well. I post new details about this channel daily. So if you have any interest in keeping more up to date with this channel, please go follow that. But getting right into this daily chart here on Nano Dimension, we can see we have a pretty big run up with this stock going all the way up to about $18, and then a significant run down. We break below the 50 EMA, coming all the way down to around 646. So if you got any stocks in this range, you are looking very, very good. We have another run up testing around in this 50 EMA range. However, we reject off of it, and now it seems as though we are, in a little bearish trend or consolidating, and we are opening up at around 980 today here on Tuesday. But let's get right into this transcript here we have from the CEO on that earnings call. And I've highlighted kind of the area that I want to be going over where he discusses a possible acquisition. So what he kind of says is, so prices would be going down, talking about, prices of acquisitions. So prices would be going down, though not yet. And for everybody that is expecting me to tell him that we are going to accelerate our M&A, which is mergers and acquisitions, the person who tells you this, be sure he will pay too much money in M&A, and we do not intend to do it. So he's being very cautious with his money here, trying to be very smart. He's waiting for these prices to go down. And as we see with a lot of SPAC acquisitions, those are bought at a huge premium. So what he's doing here is he's trying to save his money, as he knows that a lot of these prices are at all-time highs. So he will be waiting a little bit for these prices to go down, which in my opinion is very, very smart for NNDM. Also, he says we have a very intensive M&A activity. We have a few much more than one letter of intents already signed. So this is very, very huge, as the letter of intent shows that they are already intending to acquire a new company. And we know that there was at least three. They're saying there's more than one letter of intent, but we know there is at least three that they were looking to acquire, and they are looking to find distributors as well as technology companies. And with this intensive M&A activity and letters of intent already signed, it's showing that they are getting this kind of process started. Mergers and acquisitions can take a very long time. They have to go jump through a lot of hoops, get a lot of regulations that's set in place. So getting these letters of intent already signed is a huge step forward and shows a lot of progress in this acquisition kind of process. He says also, we are in the process of due diligence on a few M&As at once. The gates were opened a little bit in certain countries without mentioning specifics. So in 3 days, I'm traveling the first time to be able to perform due diligence on location. So he's actually traveling to these locations and doing his due diligence to make sure they are the perfect spot for NNDM, which I think is great news. He also says we performed already 2 due diligence processes in other locations that were open before. So yes, M&A is happening, but what I have said to people that I have raised money from, which are institutional investors, many of may be shareholders of us today, didn't hear because they never spoke with me. So I will say it again. Do not expect me to perform or to announce something unless it's happened and unless we did it cautiously, thoughtfully, in the right time, just because the share is up or down. So what he's kind of trying to say here is he's not super focused on the short-term share price of the company, which I think is great news, especially if you are a long-term investor in NNDM. He is more focused on the long-term outlook of this company, and he wants to make sure he does this acquisition right the first time. So he will be taking his time and making sure that it is the correct decision for him to make, which I love to see. I see a lot of companies focusing on the short-term kind of outlook of their share price, which then cuts them off from this long-term decision making. However, NNDM is not doing this. They are looking at the long-term potential of this company. They're looking at, in 10 years, the stock price could be, massive from where it is currently. And as a long-term investor myself of NNDM, this is something that I love to see from the CEO. So if you are also a long-term investor in NNDM, this is great news for you. But let's get right back into this chart and kind of go over some price targets. Let's set some support and resistance lines so we can kind of see what we're looking at here. We have a pretty strong support, it looks like right here. Here at around 770 or maybe just below, if I can get this candle. Yeah, right here at around 753, we have a pretty strong support. We can see it rejected pretty heavily off of that, as well as a resistance around this 50 EMA range here. We can see we rejected off of that as well. And it looks like we're coming back down a little bit today on the daily candle. But let's put our another resistance here. We can see candles have wicked down into this range before. So if we get a break below the support, we can expect price to continue down. However, if we do reject off of it, which is still yet to be seen, we can expect price to continue up. Considering more resistance lines, I like it. A resistance here at 1374 based on this rejection off of it as a support. However, we did cross below it, making it a resistance line currently. And then also at the peak of this, we have at 1706 as our next resistance. Something else I wanted to point out to you guys here, if you are a long-term investor, taking a look at the weekly chart, we can see here that the 200 EMA coming down, we have very, very strong rejections off of this 200 EMA. So as price came up twice, there is very strong rejections forcing this all the way back down into the 50 EMA area. So as price, if it continues up and the 200 EMA continues down, expect this to be a very heavy area of resistance. So just be aware of that as price continues to move. Watch this weekly 200 EMA as it is a strong resistance point, and if we do get a break above it, expect price to fly up. So moving back to the daily, we're still waiting for this to see if we get a rejection off of this support line here or if it breaks below and it will continue down. But for those of you who are looking for more short-term trades, we'll be looking at the 30-minute chart here and kind of setting some support and resistance lines based off of this. As another resistance, I do like this 50 EMA. As you can see here on this candle, we have a pretty strong rejection off of it. So let's put this right here, and we have a couple of candles kind of playing around in this area as well. And for our next resistance, I would like to put price right around here. You can see the wick kind of breaks up right into here, and we have price using this as a support level pretty strongly in previous price action. So as we are now below it, it becomes resistance, and then we have our daily resistance here at 1157, where price has respected previously as well. Now, if we continue down to break below this, we will be using our next support here on the 30-minute right here based on previous price action respecting support in this area. So if we do continue to come down off of this, bouncing around off of this 200 EMA right here, if we can't break above that, we will expect this to continue down to 911. Now, moving forward, if we do get what we want to see, which is a rejection of the support and a break above the 200 EMA on the 30-minute, we will be taking a buy here just to kind of show you what I am kind of thinking with our first price target right here at the 50 EMA. And we will have stops just below the support. You can keep these pretty tight just because there's not a lot of price action in this range. Obviously, we have a pretty big candle here from the earnings release. So if we do see price break below this support, you will not want to be in that position at that time. So you will be wanting to fully close your trade if we get a break below. However, if we get strong confirmations to the upside, clean breaks of the 200 EMA, we'll be taking our buy position at that time. Moving forward, if we do come up to our 50 EMA, that is where you'll be taking your first partial profit, reducing your position, and reducing risk. So once we do get a break above, you'll be taking your first partial profit here at 1033, moving our next price target to 1103. Price will then be trading here at 1033. And then we have a massive stop loss here, which gives price the opportunity to come back down, continue to reject off this resistance and take us out at our stop loss, which is down here, and we will be taken out at a loss. However, if you do trail your stop loss and move it up, this will ensure that you are taking out at a profit if price does decide to reject and come down. So make sure you are trailing your stop loss continuously as price moves up. So, however, if all things do go well and we continue to move up, you can expect the price to come up to our next price target here at 1102, where you'll be taking your second partial profit here in this area. And then once it continues to move up, you will be moving your next price target here at around 1156, 1157. Price will be here at 1103, and then again, massive stop loss. So continue to trail this either as a percentage of your total position or using candle structure. That is completely up to you. As I always say, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So please do your own trades based on your own due diligence, and make trades based off your own opinions. But with that being said, that is all the information I have for you guys today on Nano Dimension. If you found value in this video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you know whenever we come out with new videos. And I also have my Instagram linked down below if you'd be interested in following that. But as always, guys, good luck in today with the markets, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.